Carrie Underwood and Jason Aldean lit up the stage at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville during the CMA Awards this Wednesday evening. The dynamic duo joined a star-studded lineup to give the live world premiere of their emotional duet If I Didn't Love You, which they released over the summer as the lead single of his next album. For her latest performance, Carrie, 38, evoked a gothic fantasy vibe, singing in a swirl of fog and modeling a flesh-flashing dress with voluminous tulle skirts. At the start of the gig, Carrie stood apart on the main stage, in front of a heap of rubble draped in curtains of mist that added to the ethereal feel. Meanwhile, Jason, modeling a simple country-chic black outfit including a matching cowboy hat, was initially far away from his duet partner on the B stage. Their positioning fit the lyrics of the wistful ballad, in which Jason and Carrie sang about how they wished they could shake their romantic feelings for one another. As the song progressed, however, Jason headed across the catwalk to join Carrie on the main stage, where they gazed longingly at each other while belting out the rest of the number. The awards show began with a bang when Miranda Lambert strutted onto the stage and opened the festivities with a fiery medley of her show's topping hits. Miranda exuded country music style to the hilt, encasing her figure in a clinging floral ensemble that dripped with scarlet fringe down both of her sleeves. She began the act with her gleefully vicious revenge song Kerosene, the single that made her a star all the way back in 2005, and then sampled her later work with a more wistful loneliness number called Mama's Broken Heart. Miranda then skipped ahead to Bluebird, from her latest solo studio album Wildcard from 2019, before circling back in time to her sassy 2014 song Little Red Wagon, in which she rejects a useless suitor. Pillars of fire spurted behind her as she raged her way through her legendary 2007 single Gunpowder and Lead, which was a cut off her sensational sophomore album Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. In the song, she plays a battered woman who is sitting at home with a shotgun and a cigarette, waiting to murder her man when he returns home from jail later that night. Dierks Bentley was accompanied on stage by the artists Breland and Hardy when they performed their song Beers on Me, from Dierks' album of the same name this year. They stood amid a set perfectly designed to bring back memories of nights in a dive bar, including a worn-looking brick wall, dim lighting, neon lights and a Route 66 sign. For their big awards show shot, the trio kept their choreography simple, standing next to each other in a line as they performed their number out to the crowd. Breland, full name Daniel Gerard Breland, was lucky enough to get an ovation all of his own when he began his brief solo before he began singing with the other two men again. Eric Church delivered an electrifying performance of his song Heart on Fire, a cut of his album Heart from this April that was itself part of a larger project called Heart and Soul. When he took the stage at the CMA Awards, the Silver Fox was accompanied by his fellow singer Joanna Cotton, who had provided the backup vocals on the recorded version of the song too. As their latest rendition of the single kicked off, Eric was in semi-darkness, crooning the lyrics in flickering orange lights that were reminiscent of the rising blaze. Once he barreled into the chorus, however, actual flames rose up from the floor around him, and even rose up in columns behind the band on occasion. In a stroke of showmanship, by the time Eric and Joanna reached the third chorus, the blaze was so intense that they were evocatively swathed in smoke. Carly Pearce and Ashley McBride delivered a stirring interpretation of their duet Never Wanted to Be That Girl from Carly's latest album 29, Written in Stone. Never Wanted to Be That Girl casts Carly and Ashley as two women who realize they are being two-timed by the same man and share the same feelings of betrayal and dejection. They started off on opposite sides of the stage facing the audience, but once they got to the lines about feeling stupid, cheap, used and weak, they turned to each other. Eventually they walked towards one another and finished up the number as a united double, acting, singing to each other as they bonded over their mutual anguish. The Zac Brown Band assembled on stage that night to treat the audience to their song Same Boat from their new album The Comeback, which they dropped this year just 2 years after their previous album. Gabby Barrett got a special intro from the evening's designated compere Luke Bryan, who was joined throughout to the evening by his American Idol co-judges Lionel Richie and Katy Perry. The American Idol trio noted that Gabby had in fact shot to fame on their program a few years earlier, and after doing so they welcomed her to the stage. Gabby was there to croon her number The Good Ones, which she did in a shimmering silver mini dress that she teamed with a matching cape that stretched regally behind her until it formed a train. Kane Brown and Chris Young took the stage and delighted the crowd with their song Famous Friends, all while paying tribute to country stars, some of whom were in the room that night. Old yearbook pictures flashed on a screen behind them alongside the names of the subjects, such as Ashley McBryde, Eric Church, Keith Urban, Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Thomas Rhett, Willie Nelson and Tim McGraw. Their tributes were a bit irreverent, as well as the pictures came with jokey captions, including one that called famous marijuana enthusiast Willie the star most likely to wonder aloud if someone was holding. Over the course of the evening, Luke Combs also premiered his brand new song Doin' This, a paean to his love of performing, for which he also dropped his music video online that night. Former People magazine Sexiest Man Alive Blake Shelton hit the stage to electrify the audience with his reincarnation song Come Back as a Country Boy. Blake sizzled up a storm while standing amid a deliberately ramshackle set, including collapsing bits of wood fencing at his side and a turning windmill looming behind him. New Zealand country heartthrob Keith Urban, who is married to Nicole Kidman, sang his song Wild Hearts, which he released over the summer of this year. Before the song he hymned the glories of Nashville, from everywhere all around the world, this is where they come, the born-to-be rock stars who come with guitars in hand and songs in their hearts. He added, they're all dreamers, ready to fly to try and make their mark in this town known far and wide as Music City. Tonight and every night this song goes out to all of you wild hearts. Keith closed out his monologue, I wanna say keep dreaming, keep painting the sky, because make no mistake, like everybody else taking the stage tonight, I'm one of you. Teen activist Faith Fennedy appeared to give a monologue about a song on the evening's lineup that was instigated by the experience that brought her to public attention. Hello, my name is Faith Fennedy and I am proud to say that I inspired the song you are about to hear by an artist I love. A few years ago I was sent home from school because my braids were said to be a distraction, she said. It was devastating for me. But this next artist created this song to make sure girls like me feel seen and loved. Applause, and that's how you turn something very painful into something very positive. Faith declaimed, with your help we can work together to ensure the next generation grows up in a respectful and open world for natural hair. So right now, joined by Brittany Spencer and Madeline Edwards, please welcome a country music artist and nominee who is using her voice for good, Mickey Guyton. Mickey began her song Love My Hair singing along on stage, until Brittany and Madeline eventually appeared beside her and held her hands wordlessly. Brittany and Madeline ultimately joined the fray with their own solos, before the three women began singing together, all sporting afro hairdos. The trio's performance was received with a standing ovation, and as they stood on stage they were joined by Faith, whom they welcomed warmly during the applause. Old Dominion sang their nostalgic single I Was on a Boat That Day, the lead single for their latest album Time, Tequila and Therapy that dropped a month ago. Their set was made to appear as if they were attending an outdoor nighttime party, complete with paper lanterns and some rickety fencing festooned with Christmas lights. Chris Stapleton, who was about to go on and win Album of the Year that night for Starting Over, sang a selection from the record and set the audience's pulses racing. He chose the eerie ballad Cold for his appearance, which he began in near silhouette only for orange lights to blare suddenly onto him when he hit the chorus. During his latest live version of Cold he was accompanied by a band that included strings, who gave his country number the air almost of a James Bond theme. Thomas Rhett kept his choreography understated, standing stock still on stage and accompanying himself on the guitar during his Home Sweet Home ballad Country Again. Dan and Shay arrived to sing their song I Should Probably Go to Bed on a section of the stage that turned out to be a massive platform, which eventually raised them so that they towered over the stalls. Jennifer Hudson then stole the evening with a sensational tribute to a country outing by Aretha Franklin, whom she has just played in the biopic Respect. Back in the 1960s Aretha covered the Willie Nelson ditty Nightlife and transformed it into a smoldering, glamorous blues number, a feat that Jennifer repeated Wednesday night. She sauntered across the stage, earning round after round of applause as she soared up into melismas and hurtled through the song, with the help of a group of female backup singers. Part of her band during that song was Chris Stapleton himself, who remained behind her and on his instrument while Jennifer was performing Nightlife. However, when Jennifer switched to the song You Are My Sunshine, a Jimmy Davis and Charles Mitchell country song covered by such names as not just Aretha but also Johnny Cash, Chris became more involved. He hopped off his platform and joined Jennifer front and center, growling the melody while the Dreamgirls Oscar winner sang counterpoint in an intoxicating combination. Best New Artist winner Jimmy Allen, who was given the task of following Jennifer and Chris, admirably took up the challenge with his rollicking song Freedom Was a Highway. Jimmy, who recorded the single with accidental racist singer Brad Paisley, modeled a glittering jacket as he bounded around the stage in a stirring performance. The brothers Osborne decided that evening to go for Younger Me, which revolves around one of the brothers TJ learning to embrace his homosexuality. TJ introduced the song. For many years I would watch this show year after year and I always thought how incredible it would be. I would dream of being up here on this stage. He shared that there were so many things, you know, that were so many hurdles for me and I always truthfully felt, like it would never be possible because of my sexuality to be here. The 36-year-old crooner set the song up for the audience by stating, "And I wish my younger me could see me now," before shifting into the lyrics. Luke Bryan, who had fulfilled his hosting duties all evening, made sure to get some of his own material onto the stage and closed out the performances with his own song Up. He was bathed in blue and white light, lending the scene a heavenly atmosphere in keeping with such religious lyrics as, "In the sky there's a guy looking down on us."